I think the Noah movie is going to be quite an interesting thing to watch how the Christian community responds to this. Now, Hollywood has great opportunity to reach out to a huge audience segment if it will handle biblical accounts with integrity. This one, unfortunately, I think is not doing that.
According to Mr. Brian Godawa, who's a film critic and apologist that one of your staff people have tapped into to write about this, Mr. Godawa, who read the original script, reports that in it the earth became a desert with no rain because of human actions like hunting animals for food and sport. So again, Cal, it's man's actions that cause catastrophe, as the global warming folks keep insisting. God doesn't control the weather, man's actions do.
This is, I think, something that I find particularly disturbing about an awful lot of environmentalists who are themselves even Christians. They will think that the Bible somehow or other focuses a lot on what they consider to be environmental degradation as if that were sin, and they're not really looking at where the Bible's focus really is. For example, they'll say that the prophet Jeremiah warns of impending judgment from God because of environmental sins, but if you read through Jeremiah and you notice the sins that he mentions, there are things like idolatry and false worship and the worship of other gods, or adultery, or murder, or theft, or telling lies, things like this, rather than, say, over-farming your land or dirtying the waters of a stream. Those things, we might be able to make a case that there's some irresponsible stewardship there, but the Bible itself doesn't focus on those things, and unfortunately what looks like is happening is that people are borrowing standards of right and wrong from the non-Christian environmental movement and then pushing them into the Bible. And I think that's what's happened with Aronofsky's film here on Noah. He's saying that the whole flood came about because God was angry that human beings were killing animals and doing other things that were bad for the environment. The Bible never hints at that. What's coming before this in Genesis shows us that what was happening is that people were murdering each other. There was all kinds of other crime, sin going on. But there's no indication that any of it was significant environmental degradation. As a matter of fact, as tiny as the human population must have been at that point, it would have had, and particularly with no industrial development, would have had practically no impact on the environment.